So problems related to multiple angles. Let us see the first question here. If sin A equal to 1 by 2, then find the value of sin 2A. We shall recall the formula of sin 2A as 2 sin A into cos A. And here in the data you are given only the value of sin A. That means we need to first find the value of cos A and substitute the same in the expression for sin 2A. So to find out the value of cos A, we shall consider a right angle triangle with angle A here. And sin A for a right angle triangle is defined to be the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. So let us evaluate the remaining side using Pythagoras theorem. And when you use Pythagoras theorem, the remaining side here will be equal to square root of 4 minus 1. Square root of 4 minus 1 will simplify to square root of 3. And so this should imply to us the value of cos A is equal to adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse in the right angle triangle. So it will be root 3 divided by 2. Now both sin A and cos A are there with us. Substitute the two values in sin A formula. Sin A, which is supposed to be 2 sin A into cos A. This comes as 2 into sin A. We will take it as 1 by 2. Cos A gets replaced as root 3 divided by 2. So this on simplifying gives us square root of 3 divided by 2 as the answer. Similarly, we have the next question. If cos A equal to root 3 by 2, if cos A equal to square root of 3 divided by 2, then find the value of cos 2A. To find the value of cos 2A, when you know either sin A or cos A, you don't actually need to find the remaining ratio. The reason is for cos 2A, we have two different formulae mentioned explicitly in terms of sine and cosine ratio. So here for cos 2A, I will be using 2 cos squared A minus 1. Cos 2A is taken as 2 cos squared A minus 1. Cos A value, it is there with us. Cos A, if it is root 3 by 2, cos squared A will become 3 by 4 minus 1. This needs to be simplified further. 2 into 3 by 4 comes as 3 by 2 minus 1. 3 by 2 minus 1, which will reduce to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 will be the required answer. The third question. If cot A equal to 12 by 5, if cot A equal to 12 by 5 and A is acute, A is an acute angle, then find the value of sin 3A. Find the value of sin 3A. Here, neither sin A nor cos A has been mentioned to get the value of sin 3A. Instead, they have given in the question the value of cot A. So again, we have to consider a right angle triangle, use the definition of cotangent of an angle, find out the remaining side using Pythagoras theorem, find out what is sine ratio. To get sin 3A, we don't have to find the value of cos. Cosine ratio is not called for. So we shall answer this particular question now. Solution to the question. We have an angle A. Cotangent of an angle in any right angle triangle is defined to be the adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So you have adjacent side of angle A, which is equal to 12 here, and opposite side of angle A in the same right angle triangle, which is equal to 5, which we can see here in the diagram. And so what happens to the remaining side? That will be the hypotenuse. To find the measure of the remaining side here, we need to apply Pythagoras theorem, using which we get its measure as equal to square root of 12 squared minus 5 squared. Square root of 144 minus, plus 25. Square root of 144 plus 25. So you are getting the remaining side as equal to 13. This measure will be equal to 13. So now I need the value of sine of the angle A. Sine of an angle A is defined as opposite side divided by hypotenuse of the same. So you are having 5 divided by 13. We need to find the value of sine 3a. So we shall be applying sine 3a formula, which is equal to 3 sine A minus 4 sine cube A. Substitute the value sine A as equal to 5 by 13 minus 4 into sine cube, which will be 5 divided by 13 the whole cube. Simplify 3 into 5 by 13 minus 4 into 5 divided by 13 whole cube. And so the answer has to be 35 divided by 2197. Fourth question. Prove that cos 2a divided by 1 plus sin 2a as equal to cos a minus sin a divided by cos a plus sin a. We are not finding the value of any trigonometric ratio here. Instead, we shall be proving a particular identity. Cos 2a divided by 1 plus sin 2a is equal to cos a minus sin a divided by cos a plus sin a. Now to prove the identity, we shall use the LHS, consider the LHS and prove that is equal to the RHS. And here in the LHS, note that we have cos 2a to the numerator. Cos 2a in the numerator will be rewritten as cos squared a minus sin squared a. Denominator we have 1 plus sin 2a. Sin 2a gets replaced as 2 sin a into cos a. We have no other option there. Now for the first term here in the denominator, that is for 1, we shall use the first trigonometric identity, cos squared a plus sin squared a. The first term here in the denominator, which is 1, we will replace it as cos squared a plus sin squared a, and for sin 2a, we will take it as 2 sin a multiplied with cos a. Now in the numerator cos squared a minus sin squared a, it is in the form a squared minus b squared, which factorizes to a plus b into a minus b. And here the factors for the same will be cos a plus sin a into cos a minus sin a. In the denominator, we can observe that it is in the form of x squared plus y squared plus 2 into x into y. You can have x is equal to sin a, y is equal to cos a, and compare with the polynomial in the denominator. X squared plus y squared plus 2xy in the condensed form comes as x plus y the whole square. So here we can easily consider the expression cos a plus sin a the whole square. Now what do we observe? Cos a plus sin a, one factor in the numerator, cos a plus sin a the whole square, two factors in the denominator, same term, two factors. So I can cancel one term here, and thereby I will be having numerator left as cos a minus sin a divided by cos A plus sin A, which is the required RHS. So the result is proved. The next problem, again, we will be proving a certain identity. Prove that 1 plus sine 2 theta divided by cos 2 theta as equal to 1 plus tan theta whole divided by 1 minus tan theta. Again, here it would be easy for us to prove that LHS is equal to the RHS. So we shall consider the LHS now. We have 1 plus sine 2 theta in the numerator, cos 2 theta to the denominator. This 1 plus sine 2 theta in the numerator will have to be rewritten as how we have done in the previous question. We shall express 1 as sine square theta plus cos square theta, and for sine 2 theta we will use 2 sine theta into cos theta. Again, in the denominator cos 2 theta will be rewritten as cos square theta minus sine square theta. So you have sine square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sine theta multiplied with cos theta whole divided by cos square theta minus sine square theta. Further, the numerator is in the form x squared plus y squared plus 2x into y, and in the condensed form it will come as x plus y the whole square. I can use x is equal to cos theta, y is equal to sin theta. So the numerator will now be rewritten as cos theta plus sin theta the whole square, and in the denominator we have a quadratic expression cos squared theta minus sin squared theta, which is in the form a squared minus b squared. That gets factorized as cos theta plus sin theta multiplied with cos theta minus sin theta. Now further, what do we observe? Cos theta plus sin theta the whole square to the numerator, cos theta plus sin theta single factor to the denominator. I can eliminate one factor here, so that we will be getting cos theta plus sin theta to the numerator. Remember, here this term is eliminated, and so we have only cos theta minus sin theta to the denominator. But this is not what is required here. We need the RHS only in terms of tan ratio. But here, the fraction or the numerator and denominator expressions, we have it in terms of sine and cos. We have got both sine and cos ratios. If the answer is to be taken down only in terms of tangent ratio, then we need to eliminate sine and cosine functions here. So what do we do in such case? We will have to divide both numerator and denominator by cos theta. So here we shall divide both numerator and denominator by cos theta. When we say divide both numerator and denominator by cos theta, it only means that every term in numerator and denominator has to be divided by the same. And so we will be getting cos theta divided by cos theta, which is equal to 1, plus sin theta divided by cos theta, which changes to tan theta divided by. Similarly, now the denominator cos theta divided by cos theta, I can place it 1 there. Then we have a minus sin theta divided by cos theta comes as tan theta, which is supposed to be the required RHS. Sixth question now. Prove that cos power 4 theta minus sin power 4 theta, which is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. Cos power 4 theta minus sin power 4 theta has to be proved as equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. So let us consider the LHS. Cos power 4 theta minus sin power 4 theta, that can be taken as cos square theta the whole square minus sin square theta the whole square. If suppose I have an expression in the form a power 4 minus b power 4, then it can be rewritten as a squared the whole square minus b squared the whole square. This we have learnt in theory of indices in first year classes. The same, instead of a and b, we are using trigonometric functions. Now, we will try to use the factors of a squared minus b squared. If you have a quadratic expression in the form a squared minus b squared, then one may factorize it as a plus b multiplied with a minus b. Similarly here, cos squared theta the whole squared minus sin squared theta the whole squared gets factorized as cos squared theta plus sin squared theta multiplied with cos squared theta minus sin squared theta, which I can show here actually. I can take x is equal to a squared, y is equal to b squared. So what happens to a squared the whole squared minus b squared the whole squared with that? When you go for the replacement, the above expression comes as x squared minus y squared. And x squared minus y squared is understood as x plus y into x minus y. Now back substitute x is equal to a squared, y is equal to b squared. So that we find a squared plus b squared into a squared minus b squared, which is exactly what is done here. Cos squared theta plus sin squared theta, using the first trigonometric identity, gets replaced as equal to 1. So if this is equal to 1, then I have 1 multiplied with cos squared theta minus sin squared theta. 1 multiplied with cos squared theta minus sin squared theta remains the same. That means cos squared theta minus sin squared theta. But that is not the result which is needed. We don't want a sin squared term here in the RHS. Instead, we need a constant called 1. So, we have to eliminate that sin squared term from the RHS. And to eliminate, we have only one option, which is to use trigonometric identity. So, cos squared theta will be retained as it is. Sin squared theta will be taken as 1 minus cos squared theta. And this is because we have sin squared theta plus cos squared theta as equal to 1. Now we shall simplify by removing the brackets. Cos squared theta minus 1, minus into minus gets me a plus sign there, cos squared theta. We have got two like terms, cos squared theta plus cos squared theta, which is going to be equal to 2 cos squared theta minus 1. And thus we have the result with us. Required RHS is obtained to that end. The seventh question. Prove that 1 plus cos 2a plus sin 2a whole divided by 1 minus cos 2a plus sin 2a, which is equal to cot a. In the problems that we have taken till now, we have had either sum or difference of only two terms in the LHS. But here we have a different question. We have sum of three terms both in numerator and denominator. 1 plus cos 2a plus sin 2a whole divided by 1 minus cos 2a plus sin 2a. And to prove this result, we will be using again compound angle. We will be using multiple angle formula to both numerator and then denominator. The numerator here, 1 plus cos 2a, we shall consider as one term. So I will group the terms now. 1 plus cos 2a, I keep it as it is, plus sin 2a. Likewise, in the denominator, we shall consider 1 minus cos 2a as one expression plus sin 2a will be retained as it is. And we have seen in the beginning of the multiple angle formulae, the expressions, deductions for 1 plus cos 2a and 1 minus cos 2a. 1 plus cos 2a, you will replace it as 2 cos squared a plus sin 2a, you will take it as 2 sin a multiplied with cos a, 4 divided by 1 minus cos 2a to the denominator gets replaced as 2 sin squared a plus 2 sin a multiplied with cos a. Now to get these two expressions, you will have to recollect the remark that we have seen in the earlier session. Now what do we observe here in this reduced form of the fractions? The numerator we have got 2 as a common factor. I could also take out cos a as a common factor. So I have 2 cos a basically as a common factor to the numerator. So now the first term is left as cos a. We have a plus sign in between. 2 times cos a has come out. So only sin a will remain with the second term. Similarly, in the denominator, we have 2 as a common factor. Further, sin a also comes as a common factor multiplied with. Now again we have sin a remaining with the first term. We have a plus sign in between. 2 sin a has been taken out. So cos a remains with the second term. And we note here that cos a plus sin a is again a common factor to both numerator and denominator, which eventually will get eliminated. 2 cos a divided by 2 sin a. 2 also gets cancelled out. Cos a divided by cos a, which simplifies, is equal to cot a, which is the RHS that is required. Going ahead with the problems, we have the next down the line, the 8th question. Prove that cos 3a whole divided by 2 cos 2a minus 1 as equal to cos a, and hence deduce the value of cos 15 degrees. Prove that cos 3a divided by 2 cos 2a minus 1 equal to cos a, and hence deduce the value of cos 15 degrees. First of all, we have to prove the identity given here, that is cos 3a by 2 cos 2a minus 1 is equal to cos 2a. Using the same identity, we have to find the value of cos 15 degrees. So now the numerator in the LHS, that is cos 3a, we will have to apply multiple angle formula for cos 3a. Cos 3a, as we all know, is 4 cos cube a minus 3 3 cos A. Denominator 2 cos 2A minus 1. If you have sin 2A, you will be left with no option. If you have tan 2A, again you have got only one choice to fill up. Problem arises only when there is cos 2A as an expression. So whenever this kind of a question appears, you will have to get the answer according to the RHS which is required. And here we need the RHS as cos A. Only cosine term is to be given here in the reduced form. So that we have to take it as a hint. What happens if you take cos 2A as cos squared A minus sin squared A? Definitely you will not be wrong. You will just have to eliminate sin squared A in that case, which will take you 2 steps extra. So instead of that, we should try to reduce our work. Cos 2A here in the denominator, we will consider it as 2 cos squared A minus 1. The minus 1 in the last term, we will keep it as it is. Simplify further. 4 cos cube A minus 3 cos A whole divided by. Remove the brackets to simplify in the denominator, which gets us 4 cos squared A minus 2 minus 1. Okay. Now in the numerator, we observe that cos A has come as a common factor. So we shall remove cos A as common only to the numerator. Cos A whole multiplied with. First term is now left as 4 cos squared A minus. I have already taken out cos A common. So 3 remains. Whole divided by 4 cos squared A minus 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 3. 4 cos squared A minus 3, 4 cos squared A minus 3, two common terms which get eliminated, and so we have the result as in equal to cos A. This is the expected RHS. So the identity is proved. But we have a following sub-question there. What is the following sub-question? You have to find the value of cos 15 degrees. Using the same identity, we have to find the value of cos 15 degrees. So what do we do for that? We have just now proved an identity. So the same we shall be rewriting. Consider cos A as equal to cos 3A whole divided by 2 cos 2A minus 1. If I want cos 15 degrees, then obviously I will have to substitute angle A equal to 15 degrees. So we shall put A equal to 15 degrees in the above equation, which is going to imply to us cos 15 degrees is equal to cos. When A equal to 15 degrees, angle 3A will become 3 into 15 degrees. 3 into 15 degrees is 45 degrees. So numerator we will take it as cos 45 degrees. Denominator will be 2 into cos. When A is 15 degrees, angle 2A will become 2 into 15. That comes as 30 degrees minus 1. So what happens now to the value of cos 15 degrees? We have in the RHS two standard angles. Both 45 degrees and 30 degrees are two standard angles. And cosine of those two standard angles we are well versed with. The value for cos 45 degrees 1 by root 2, 2 into denominator we have a cos 30 degrees which is root 3 by 2 minus 1. And what do we get this on simplifying? 1 by root 2 whole divided by 2 and 2 they get cancelled. We have just root 3 remaining minus 1. And this root 2 in the numerator I can transpose to the denominator so that we finally get the value of cos 15 degrees as equal to 1 divided by square root of 2 multiplied with root 3 minus 1. You could retain the answer as it is. There is no need for us to rationalize the denominator. We now have the next question to be proved. Tan 2 theta minus tan theta is equal to tan theta multiplied with secant 2 theta. So again here we shall prove that LHS is equal to RHS. In the LHS we have got both in terms of tan function, whereas now in the RHS we have two different functions, one in terms of tangent, another in terms of secant. Okay. So now to get the result, desired result here, tan 2 theta and tan theta, both the terms in the LHS, we will first rewrite in terms of sine and cos. Sine 2 theta will be taken as, tan 2 theta will be taken as sine 2 theta divided by cos 2 theta minus tan theta will be taken as sine theta divided by cos theta. Calling LCM to the denominator, we have cos 2 theta into cos theta. So now the numerator will be sine 2 theta into cos theta minus cos 2 theta into sine theta. We have just taken the LCM to the denominator here. And what do we observe further here? The expression in the numerator, it is in the form sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. And what is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B given by? It is nothing but the compound angle formula sin A minus B. For A, I can consider 2 theta. For B, I can consider theta. So now you have the numerator reduced to the form sin A minus B, which is taken as sin 2 theta minus theta divided by cos 2 theta multiplied with cos theta. 2 theta minus theta to the numerator can be taken as sin theta whole divided by cos 2 theta multiplied with cos theta. But we don't have the desired result here apparently. I need to realign the terms here and then show that it is the same as tan theta into secant 2 theta, for which we will have to go for regrouping the terms. Now here in this fraction, whatever we obtain, we shall group sin theta by cos theta as one term, so that the denominator cos 2 theta, it comes as 1 by cos 2 theta and otherwise taken as secant 2 theta, which you can see now how we are rearranging. Sin theta by cos theta, we will take it as one term. We will be left with cos 2 theta in the denominator. Evidently, it has to be 1 in the numerator. So it basically is sin theta by cos theta into 1 by cos 2 theta. Sin theta divided by cos theta is tan theta multiplied with 1 by cos 2 theta is secant 2 theta. And this is the desired RHS. So these are a few set of problems that we could be giving on this chapter, that is this topic, that is multiple angles. Submultiple angles, there is no problems which is supposed to be considered in trigonometry chapter. Submultiple angle formulae will be useful when we deal with chapters from calculus, particularly integration. So practice more of these kind of problems to get well acquainted with all the formulae related to compound angles and multiple and submultiple angles. We shall now be concluding this session on multiple angles and compound angles. Our next session will be on the transformation formula, which will be based on the same chapter. Transformation formula comes as a part of the same chapter, second chapter in trigonometry. So now let us begin the last topic in the same chapter, which is transformation formulae. Now this transformation formulae will be a set of trigonometric formulae which are used to convert either sum or difference of two trigonometric functions to product of two trigonometric functions or vice versa. You could have sum or difference expressed as a product of two trigonometric functions or product of two trigonometric functions which will be converted into sum or difference of two other trigonometric functions. Now, how are we basically going to derive these set of transformation formulae? Again, the basis is for this compound angles. So, we will be using compound angle formulae sin of A plus B, sin of A minus B, cos of A plus B and then cos of A minus B. You add any two formulae, sin of A plus B, sin of A minus B, or you subtract the same two compound angle formulae, sin of A plus B and sin of A minus B. Likewise, you add the other two, cos A plus B, cos A minus B. You subtract the last two, cos A plus B and cos A minus B formulae, which is going to give us the following set of transformation formulae. Now here we have added sin A plus B and sin A minus B. The two compound angle formulas, sin A plus B and sin A minus B. When you add the two formulae and rearrange the terms, it is giving you the first transformation formula, which is converting the product of the two trigonometric functions into sum of two trigonometric functions. So it goes like this, sin A into cos B is equal to half of sin A plus B plus sin A minus B. Similarly, you subtract the same two compound angle formulae, sin A plus B and sin A minus B, and rearrange the terms, which is giving you the second one here on the board. Cos A into sin B, which is equal to half of sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. When we add cos A plus B and cos A minus B formulae and rearrange the terms, we have the third transformation formula for converting the product of two cos functions into sum of these two cos functions. So you have the third one as cos A into cos B is equal to half of cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Similarly, when we subtract the same two compound angle formulae, cos A plus B and cos A minus B, and rearrange the terms, it is giving us the last compound angle formula, sin A into sin B, which is equal to minus half of cos A plus B minus cos of A minus B. Now, this set of four transformation formulae we will be using whenever we need to convert product of two trigonometric functions into sum or difference of two other trigonometric functions. Now, is there a possibility of going the reverse way? Meaning to say that, is there a possibility or a different set of transformation formulae which can help us in expressing sum or difference into product? Yes, definitely. And that we consider as the second set of transformation formulae, wherein we have sum of two trigonometric functions which will be expressed as product. So how to do that? For that we consider the next set of derivation. We have now taken a different set of transformation formulae which are useful in converting sum or difference of two trigonometric functions into product. Now, to arrive at this set of four transformation formulae, we will be making small changes with substitutions in the previous set of four formulae. So here we consider A plus B equal to C and A minus B equal to D as two new substitutions for 1, 2, 3 and 4 formulae. You have A plus B equal to C, A minus B equal to D. When you add the two equations, it will give you A as equal to C plus D divided by 2. When you subtract the two equations, it will give the value for angle B equal to C minus D whole divided by 2. So now we have the first in the second set, sin C plus sin D, which is equal to 2 sin C plus D by 2 into cos C minus D by 2. Sum is getting converted into product here. The sixth one, we have difference of two trigonometric functions, which is sin C minus sin D, which is given by 2 into cos of C plus D by 2 into sin of C minus D by 2. The seventh one, cos C plus cos D, sum again is getting converted into product, 2 cos C plus D by 2 into cos C minus D by 2. Finally, the eighth one, we have the difference of two trigonometric functions, cos C minus cos D. We have it as minus 2 into sin C plus D by 2 into sin of C minus D by 2. Where C is equal to A plus B, D is equal to A minus B, substituted in the previous set of 4 formulae. So the first set, we use it to convert product into sum or difference, whereas the second set of 4 formulae will be used to convert sum or difference into product of two trigonometric functions. So what are the different set of problems that we could be considering based on transformation formulae?